Hello and welcome to Women Achievers. This is the program that chronicles the life of young ladies, achieving women from a young girl to adulthood. And it tells us how they became boss lady. It's a journey, the process, and not about the destination. So today on the program, I have a woman who started with 2 sewing machines. And today, to the glory of God, she has over 120 sewing machines and a staff strength close to 100. Yes, you heard that. She is Josephine Okoye, the Managing Director of Zowhn Stitches. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So tell us what it was like growing up in Nigeria as a young girl. What did you dream of?
Okay. Well, as a young girl, growing up was a beautiful thing. Had a lot of siblings, so we were pretty occupied. But one of the things I loved doing when I was a little girl was making clothes for my doll babies and making clothes generally. So every time I went to a tailor shop, I took the leftovers, to put it together for my dolls. At that point, I knew that I wanted to be a fashion designer, but I prefer to call myself a tailor. I had the support of my parents, my siblings, so it was quite an eventful childhood.
So what schools did you attend?
Oh, well, we traveled a lot. Was your
father in the military?
No, he wasn't for some reason, but he worked with Procter & Gamble then. Yeah. So they posted him there back and forth, started from Lagos, St. Gloria's International School, moved to Kano, went to Benin International School, then moved to Jos. I went to Educare private school. That was for my primary and nursery. Then my secondary was in Command Secondary School Jos, the boarding. After that, went to University of Jos, where I studied general and applied psychology.
So how did you migrate from applied psychology to tailoring?
Okay, I remember before I went to university, my dad had called all of us and was asking us what we wanted to read in school. My sister said business and finance. Then when it got to my turn, I told him I wanted to be a tailor. You had to see the shock on my father's face. He said, tailor? No. You talk well. You can be a lawyer, chemical engineer. I said, Dad, He said, okay, you can learn French, and work in embassies and, foreign embassies. I said, Dad, remember, I can't even speak Igbo. I can't speak Yoruba. I can't speak Hausa. Even English is, we're getting there. I won't be able to learn French. He said, no, you have to learn something. Not tailor. No. My house? Tailor. So I said, okay, I'll think about it. Then I thought hard, and I said, okay, psychology. Any which way, I'll be able to use it in life. And that's how I started. That's how psychology entered the tailoring history.
Okay, so tell us how you started as a tailor.
Okay, it all started with, I used to model. I used to be a teenage model, did a lot of runways, a lot of beauty pageants.
Wow, you can still model.
If you're willing to pay. I did Face of Africa, Nokia Face of Africa. Then I did Nokia Face of Africa is run by South Africa, an NGM South Africa. Then we also did I did Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria. But I didn't get to the third stage. Why? Because at that time I couldn't smile.
Wow.
Yeah. I felt
thing with smiling.
Yes, I felt I always wanted to be a madam, so I felt that smiling would
make you less of a madam.
Yes, you had to be serious. So I remembered I passed the height stage. They asked us for our documents if you had international passports. I passed that. Went through the swimming, wear the swimming suits, the body stage. I passed it, and the third one, as a queen, you must be able to smile and wave. Yeah. And I remembered Guy Bruce then telling me, "Come, can't you smile?" It was very strange. I just couldn't smile. But he told me something. He said, "I want to see you next year. Okay. But what you're going to do when you get home, look into the mirror, tell yourself you're beautiful. and have a cause to smile. You know, so I kept on doing that.
Practice that.
And now I over smile. Then at one point I told myself, I said, you know what, I don't want to be modeling now. I want to be the one dressing the models.
Okay.
That was my second year in university. Then I sat together with my mom. I told her, Mommy, I'll finish school. I'll get you guys a certificate. But this is what I want to do, and I want to do it now.
Wow.
She said, I will be able to mix. I said, yes, I'll be able to. She said, where will you get money from? I said, I'll ask my account officer. So she said, okay. So I met my account officer. I told him I want to open a shop, tailoring shop. He said, so what do you want from me? And I said, I want money. He said, okay, how much are you looking for? Then machines were like 30K, then butterfly was like 15K. So I told him I wanted 200,000. So he now said, okay, how much interest?
You didn't know you would be interested?
Yes. And I was like, okay, Demola, will I pay interest? He said, yes, at least something. I said, okay, 1%. He said, 1%. I said, that's why I was done in the bank. Oh. And I said, if you don't give me bank funds, give me your own funds. And I was happy that he was one person that first believed in me. So he said, okay, I'll give you my own funds for 1% interest.
Wow.
Yes. So he gave me my first 200,000. I bought my machines. I bought 2 machines, then 1 weaving machine. Then I reached out to a tailor in Badagry then, Ola. I told him to come. I was going to get him a house in Jos. Accommodation was very cheap in Jos, so I got him a place. And we started. That was 2006, July 26th. That was the first time we opened the store. And it's been a ride, 20 years down the lane. And still
like, where are we now? What's your current status of Zowhn stitches?
Well, Zowhn stitches, by God's grace, from 2 tailors, we have the capacity for 120 tailors now.
Wow.
From 2 machines, we have 120 machines. It's been a journey.
I can imagine.
It's been a
Tell us
journey.
about the nature of the business.
Okay.
Like school uniforms, who are your clients? Who are the people that gave you this strength in the last 20 years?
Zowhn
Give you the
stitches.
wings to fly.
Zowhn stitches started with bespoke, measure to fit. We started. Funny enough, I started with the male first. You know, I didn't want women.
Those are good customers.
Yes, women. Then when I say women, I had a lot of complaints. My boss did not fit. This is not fit. So I would just do with the men. You know, I did started with the men. I went to Ghana, bought fabrics, made it like ready to wear, packaged it, went from offices to offices, showed them. Then after a while, it became tedious because I was still in school. You know, having to go office runs, go to school. I said, no, you know what? Let's introduce these things. Let's start working with women. So I had few customers. I started in Jos, and I'm an Abuja girl in Jos. I didn't want to give them Abuja price, so I had to, you know. But the tailors I bought were professional tailors that I had to pay a lot of money. After school, I got married and started Abuja branch. Ran Jos branch and Abuja branch. Then I said no, I couldn't come to Jos, go to Abuja, come to Jos, go to Abuja. But in 2013, we started the uniforms. I've always wanted to have a place where we make uniforms in large scale. I always liked mass production. So 2013, I kicked up the uniform section. So it stopped being Zowhn stitches. Instead, it now started being Zowhn stitches and uniforms limited. But I wanted also, I wanted to appeal to other my school clients, hotels. Okay. We also make uniforms for the military. We make uniforms for hospitals. You know, so it started like that.
So, what is the greatest challenge you've had in the course of this 20 years journey?
2. Capital and skilled workers. But I think skilled workers will come first before capital.
Wow.
Because capital, you can work within your pace.
Yes.
you know, but skilled workers has always been a challenge. So I've had people, I had workers that, especially my managers, my first 3 managers I had left and started their own business. Now, they didn't only leave, they took the workers along with them. But they didn't understand something. It's 2 things: business for passion and business for money are 2 different things. Passion will always outlive money. Why? Because the business comes with challenges, daily challenges. But when you are in it for the passion, you're able to weather those storms.
Stay focused.
Yes, but when you are in it for the money, the times maybe customers delay your payments, you get frustrated, you opt out quickly. You know, those are the things that my manager didn't understand. So when they started it, some of them, after a while, they came back like the prodigal daughter and said, "Oh, Mom, sorry, how did you do this? How do you get along? How do you pay these people every week? How do you, you know?"
They now understood.
Yeah, because I don't seem to have money to pay this people every week. I said, "But don't you collect money from clients?" I said, "When by the time we buy stuff, so everything is gone." I said, "Yes, first and foremost, I have a principle that a laborer is worthy of his wages. So no matter what I do with money, I always keep my laborer's money aside. Because I don't want to tell you stories when it's time for." But people don't understand it, because when the money comes, you just blow it, forgetting that the laborers still can get paid. You know, I had that challenges for a while. To even get a manager, there were years that, so particular 3 years I didn't have a manager. I was just managing my thing myself. Why? Because every time they come, they want to just pick your ideas, you can open up somewhere, you know.
And then they can't sustain.
At least I know about 3 of them that started. There's only one that's still in it. But every time he calls me, he tells me his frustration. I'll tell him, "Na so it be."
Comes with the business.
Yeah, na so it be.
So let me go to your happy place, because I know that behind every successful woman, there is a man that is gingering, inspiring, urging you. All right, tell us about.
Oh my God. Very true. Very true. My husband has been amazing. I met my husband during the COVID period.
Oh, very recent.
Yes.
So COVID romance.
Like I call him my God-given palliative.
Okay.
You know, when everybody was sharing palliative, God was, you know, preparing him for me, and he gave it to me. I remember he wanted face masks and PPEs.
And it was all in the line of business.
Yes.
Wow.
So a common friend introduced us. "Oh, meet that lady, you know, call her up and she'll be able to deliver." And we got talking. One thing led to another thing. We found out I had common friends. When the airspace was open, we said, "Let us see ourselves now." You know, I had a business to do in Lagos. You know, I had some payments to follow up in Lagos. I said, "Okay, I'll come. When I come to Lagos, we'll see." You know, we saw.
And you conquered.
We conquered. We saw and we conquered. And we met in April.
Okay.
Then he proposed in September. Of course, when we saw ourselves, we knew he wasn't young. That was his 40th birthday.
Okay.
Yeah, and he knew what he wanted, you know, and I knew what I wanted. He proposed because I didn't want a lot of people in the wedding. So thank God, COVID restrictions, 100 persons, and all, yes. While we started preparing the wedding, wedding preparations and all, then my depression started. Payments were not coming as much as, but because, you know, it was like a mixed feeling, like a cocktail, you know. You're happy here, relationship here, then people that are dragging you for debt on the other side, you know. And so when they call me for debt, I don't have, when I'm down, next my phone rings, it's my ngalam. I call him my ngalam. That's my pride.
Oh,
yes.
Look at that. His pride, palliative, what
Yeah.
other people?
My person. PPP. You know, and got married December 2020. he's been a good support. He's been there, especially when January came. We're supposed to go for honeymoon. I was not in the right place at all. You know, there was so much pressure from a job that went bad. My work has already they made a union that they wanted to drag this woman to the floor. People that were owing money wanted blood. They wanted their money, they wanted blood more, you know. And I just started drilling, started going down. Stopped talking to people. Then I got pregnant. Every day he would tell me, babies will get better. Babies will get better, it'll get better, it'll get better.
He's an encourager.
Yes, and I thank God for bringing him. God brought him at the right time, you know, and it's been a roller coaster of amazing feelings. And sometimes you say, oh, these your workers, they're trying to take attention from me, you know.
They had more of your attention than me.
Yes, sometimes work, you know, but I had to learn balance. You know, I had to, being in a new marriage, I had to know that once it's 5:30, start packing your things from the factory, go home, you know, I had to prepare meals and all. But my husband is a good cook. So, yeah.
On top of everything.
Yeah, he's a great cook.
Wow.
Great, because I have a lot of breakfast in bed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yes, I have a lot of that. You know, so it's been a good journey so far. Believing God for better days ahead.
Yeah. Looking back in hindsight, as a young girl when you started, what would you have done differently, or what mistakes did you make that you will advise upcoming tailors to watch out for?
I think it's my kind of person. I tend to try to understand the people. So, but that also had its own...
They took advantage.
Yes. You know, when you tell, okay, all right, we understand, can you do this? When you tell them, they tell you, I don't have money right now, but I will pay you. You know? I didn't do a lot of paperwork, because growing up, my dad told me something a long time ago, and he said, as a Christian and as a child of God, your word should be more valuable than any signed documents. You know, so I entered
with that mindset.
Yes, my word is more valuable. Forgetting that in the business terms, you always have to always put pen to paper. You know, so a lot of losses I recorded was because I didn't put pen to paper. I believed their word. I thought everybody was going to be me. You know, so looking back, these were my regrets.
So, what advice would you give to young girls? Because this program is built to inspire young people, because they are the microwave generation. They don't believe in process, and they need to slow down their pace. So let's hear your view.
First and foremost, be patient. Patience is the key word. And believe in yourself. Most young ladies now, they have lost self-confidence. They have lost self-worth. So they look up to other people. They compare themselves, you know. Oh, this person is like this, this person like this. Life is not a competition. Everybody has his pace. God has given you a pace. Everybody has a destination. Your destination may end today, tomorrow, next year, at your own pace. Don't try to be on another person's lane. I tell every young girl I see that cares to listen, it's good to have a big dream. But it's called a dream because you have to still wake up and do the work in reality. A lot of young girls now want to, like you said, the microwave generation, they want it so quick, you know. They want to just go and get it done. But there's beauty. There's beauty in the story when you have a journey. Because you'll be able to learn at every point of your journey. And it will also help you when you make mistakes. You can gently or quickly turn. But once you want to just very quick, you make mistakes. Sometimes you don't even realize you're making mistakes. You know, there's beauty in growth. I always tell people that, you know, if you jump, once you jump, you drop down. But when you grow, you stay. You know? So my advice to them is, grow, allow yourself to grow. Be patient enough to grow. Appreciate your little beginnings. And do not be ashamed to start small. Do not be ashamed. It's even better to start small. That way you can look back and say, oh, I know where I'm coming from. You know, and you can appreciate where you're coming from. So in a nutshell, patience, you know, and be focused and believe in yourself. Don't wait for validation from someone else. Validate yourself, believe in yourself, and trust God. Trust God.
You are built to last.
Yes, I always tell people, for me and Zowhn Stitches, we are built to last. It has come to stay. It can only get better. It's not because we will not have our trying times. Of course it will come, but we've made up our mind to learn, turn to a learning curve, and keep growing.
Okay. So where do you see Zowhn Stitches in the next 5 years?
I see Zowhn Stitches bigger and better. We would have tripled our size now, and have more retainership, have more clients, and I see Zowhn Stitches being a household name in Nigeria.
Wow, big go girl. So thank you very much for coming on to the program. On that note, Josephine Okoye, the Managing Director, Zowhn Stitches and Uniforms. Your story is inspirational, it's phenomenal, and you're an extraordinary woman. We're proud of you. Thank you for staying in there to encourage young people that it's possible even in Nigeria. And we look forward to another sequel because there's still more narrative coming out from you, I can tell.
I would love to be here.
All right, thank you very much for watching. This is Women Achievers, and this is where we drop our hearts today. Till I bring you another woman, another time. My name is Mayo Oluwabi. God bless Nigerian women.